Welcome back. As we have discussed in the last lecture, how to allocate memory for a single variable. It can be integer type, it can be character type. In this lecture, I'm going to demonstrate how to allocate memory for a array. How to allocate memory for 10 integers or a variable size of length for this purpose. Okay. So let's add the header file. And we need to use the standard library. Okay, so what are you going to do? Let's allocate memory for an array of size 5. So integer type array, we want how many? We want 5. So use this subscript or square brackets to specify the size here. And we are going to use the new operator for this purpose. And we also know we need a pointer for that purpose. So we're using a pointer here. Okay, so we have allocates memory for 5 different integers, or we called it array also. Okay, so pter is what? Pter is a pointer here which will point the initial block which allocates by the new. The initial block allocates by the new. So now this, how many memory block we have created? We have created 5 memory blocks. Okay, now suppose that if you're supposed to do the same thing with the malloc, what kind of syntax we should write? Okay, if we do suppose the same thing using malloc, we need to pass the total size that is required. So we are allocating for 5 integers and we should to multiply 5 by the size of int. And we know that malloc return me as void pointer. So we need to typecast it to integer pointer, and then we need to use a pointer which can point that memory block. So now compare the syntax of malloc and compare the syntax of new. New syntax are very short and simple with respect to malloc. Look at the differences here. At the first difference is that malloc need to specify the total size need to be allocated in bytes, and but in new no need to specify the total size. New only requires how many memory blocks we want. And by using int here, new can easily understand we need 5 different memory blocks of type int, means which can store 5 different integer values. Now let's see the another difference here. Malloc always return me a void pointer. So we need to typecast to integer. So that's why this typecasting operator is used with malloc. But look at the new. New doesn't require this typecasting. New simply return the pointer of the same type which can point the initial block here. Okay, so very easy to do this. Then how to delete that memory that we have allocated using new? Simple. In previous lecture we have used delete ptr. Okay, we have used delete ptr to delete a single pointer. Now it's a group of memory, so we should use delete square brackets and ptr. Now it will be doing what? This delete, it will free all 5 memory blocks. Okay, so syntax are very straightforward, very easy with respect to C or with respect to those functions that we have earlier used during C. Okay, now let's see how can we initialize the memory values to that memory block that we have initialized here. So syntax remains very straightforward. When we have used array, we need to use a loop. So normally we have used a for loop. So here also we can use the same thing. For, and array index always start from 0, and the size of the array is always the number of elements. It should be also equal to the size, and highest index of the array is equal to the highest the number of elements minus 1. And number of elements is 5, so the highest index will be 5 minus 1, that is 4. So we can write I less than equal to 4, or we can write I less than 5. Both is same here. And we gradually will increment it by 1. Now to take values from the user at runtime, we can use cin here. And we can do this thing, ptr of I. Okay. So let's, after taking the input for the 5 different integer, let's print the values that we have stored into 5 different memory blocks. So this part of the code will be used for taking input. Now let's write another loop which is going to print the values according to the memory block. So let's print some message here, cout value at which address? How can we print the address here? Address of ptr of I, and then we can simply use ptr of I to print the value that we have taking input through console using this cin. So let's compile this code here. So it is waiting for the input. So let's give some input here, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now look at the values. We have allocates memory, 5 different memory blocks using new, and look at the values address 50, then 4 byte more for integer 54, then again 4 byte more, it is 58, then it's going to be convert to hexadecimal, and after hexadecimal if we do this thing, 8 plus 4 is 12, and 12 is represented by C, and then next is 60. So we can easily understand here memory is given of 4 byte of block each, because size of integer is 4 byte. So as we have created memory, now we have taken the input and we have print those values that we have given input through console. So very easy syntax with respect to C. Okay, so this is the way that we can allocate memory for array using dynamic memory allocation in C++. We'll see in the next lecture how can we use new with our class. How can we allocate objects dynamically using new, and how can we free that object using delete. We'll see in the next lecture. So I'll encourage you, you should practice some program using new and delete. You can practice how to sort an array, how to search an item that we already learned, binary search and linear search. So I'll encourage you, you should implement all this program using this technique, DMA technique in C++. Thank you.